Hello everyone. Today we will be making this website using Next.js and Material UI. We'll make all the functionalities of this website. We'll make these pages as well. And we'll make this dashboard which will have login and sign up pages as well. We'll be setting up our project. We'll go to terminal and we'll open a new window. We'll say change directory to desktop, and here we'll make a new directory called website. We'll change that to this website, and we'll make a new next app here. So for that we'll say npx create next app, and we'll name it my app. We'll hit enter and it will make a new next app for us. So our new app is almost ready. So created my app at this location, will ls, and we can see this app has been created. App has been made, but there is this error which needs to be sorted out. So we'll drag our folder in VS Code and we'll say npm run dev, and you can okay, sorry, we are not inside the my app, that is why this error came. So please see that you are inside my app where your next app is located. So you can see this all files appear here. Now we can write npm run dev and it would start our server here at 3001. So we'll go to Chrome and we'll hit enter, and you can see this all appears. That means our app is not now running. So we'll go here, and as you open this app.js file, you'll see as we delete this API here. Okay, no need to delete it first of all. You see that in this import is saying cannot find module next/babel. So this error is coming. So what we can do is we can go to our Chrome and we'll type cannot find next/babel, and so we can go to this link in Stack Overflow, and here this we can follow this thing because I have tried it and this resolves the error. So it is saying create file called .babelrc in your root directory. So we'll go here in our root. By root it means that in my app where all your files for next app are located. So we'll create .babelrc file and we'll hit enter, and it says that we should copy this and paste that in this. So we'll hit save, and next it says that we have to replace this code in .eslint.rc file. So we'll search for it and it is here, and we'll copy this and we'll replace this code here and we'll say save. Now you see that this error has been resolved. Now we'll delete this index.js file. We'll be creating our index.js, and we will delete this API as well. Now we'll see that this crashes. So for that we'll create our own index.js file, and here we'll say RFCE, and this would create a boilerplate. Now we do not need to import React from React because this is already done by the next, because as we create a next tab, this is already done, so we do not need that. And we'll say command save, and you can see this appears. That means our React app is running fine, and now we can initiate our development. We'll first go to this website called Material UI, because we need Material UI in our project, so we will install this. So you can go to mui.com and you can install Material UI from here. We will copy this link and we'll go to our terminal. Okay, now we need to paste this and we'll hit enter, and we'll need material icons as well, so we'll go to this website again and we'll search for material icons. This, okay, now you can see these icons appear. These are material icons and we can use these icons in our project. So for to use this icons, we can first install material icons, right? If you are using npm, you can copy this link. If you are using yarn, you can copy this one. So I am using npm, that's why I will copy this link, copy, and we'll paste this and we'll hit enter. So materials icon will be installed. Okay, now we can run npm run dev and we'll hit enter, right? So we'll go to our page, and now we need to create components here. So as you can see this website, what we'll do is we'll divide the website into various components. Like this is a nav, we'll say this as a middle part, right? We'll name this something and we'll name this a footer. So first of all, we'll structure our project here. So we'll first of all call stack from material UI, so it is not importing it right now. So what we'll say is import stack from @material UI material, okay, and we'll say stack. So what this stack does is it stacks your entire components one after the other. It has other option as well. For example, direction, we can give this prog, but we do not need it right now, right? So first of all, we'll say we need a nav here. We have not imported this right now, so it will not work, but just for the sake of understanding, we are doing it right now, right? Then we'll have a middle part maybe. So this can change later, but right now, for just structuring our project and to understand how the flow would be, we are making this up. So this, we can call this a container or whatever container. We'll not use these because these are material UIs, and a footer. So this is how our website should look. We'll have a stack, and in starting we'll have a nav bar, which is this one. After it we'll have a middle portion, so this is this and this, and then we'll have a container which would contain all these things, and at last we would have a footer, which is this one. So these names can change, but the functionality what we want to know right now is how the flow would be. So we'll have this flow of our website. We'll remove this. We'll remove all this, and now what we need is we need to make a folder here called component. So remember one thing, you can't create a folder component inside here, because as you know, next uses file based folder based routing. So if you will create a folder here, named component, that would be treated as a route. So do not create a folder here. So what we'll do is we'll go to the root and we'll say components, we'll hit enter, and inside this we will make a navbar.js, and inside this we will create this boilerplate. We'll For testing we will save this and we'll go inside our index and we'll say navbar. We can see this appears, we'll hit enter, and if we'll go to our Chrome, so you can see this navbar appears. That means we have imported it rightly. So we'll go to our navbar, and what we'll do right now is we'll just structure our navbar now, and in the next video we'll style it. So as you can see in this, what we say is we have this div, you can say, which have a h1 and a subheading. The second div is this one, third is this one, and we have this one as well, right? So what we can do is we'll say this main div, we can say class name as nav, and inside this we'll create another div which would have h1, which is coders arts, and we'll have h4, which would be projects. Right now we'll have another div which would be for these, or maybe we will treat them as a single unit maybe, or okay, now what we'll do is we'll have another div and we'll create sub divs inside this so that we can hold all these three in that. So we'll say div, and inside this we'll have another div. This another div is for each and every element. So in this we'll have an other div which would store this text and this arrow. So inside this we'll have say h4 maybe, and we'll say find projects. For now we are not concerned about the functionality, so what we'll do is we'll import an icon from material UI. Now we are just using text and arrow for simplicity right now, but later when the project would be done, later we'll add this functionality here and we'll change this div to a button. So this is here, we'll say icons, material icons, and we'll say drop down. Yes, so we can import this, we can copy this, and we'll place it here. And now we can use this as a component, so you can copy and we can paste this here, right? And we have another of this kind of div, so we'll copy this and we'll paste. Next is other services, so we'll change this to other services. And after all these we'll have a button, so we'll type button and you can see this appears. We'll enter it and this, you can see this is imported, and we can save. So now you can see this, we can reload, and our button is not okay. Now we have done this mistake. We can say maybe what is here, get help now, so we'll say get help now, and we'll say variant is equal to contained, we'll say save. So you can see all these appear, right? And the contents are basically similar. Now we'll style these and make them in line here in the next video. We'll start styling our navbar. So first, what we'll do is we'll go to globals.css, and here we'll say dot title font family is cabin. We'll use this as font family wherever we'll give the class name title, right? Now we'll go to navbar, and in this div we'll say style is equal to margin 10 pixels from top and bottom and 30 from left and right. Then we'll say display would be flex. Now I'm using inline CSS, but you can make classes for these and store them in globals.css as well. Flex direction would be column, column, yes, this. And then would be justify content, we'll say center. Then we'll say text align, and that would also be center. Now we'll go to this h1 and we'll say first of all class name, we'll say title, then then we'll say style, margin would be 0 because h1 automatically gives margin, so we'll say margin should be 0. I think there is some error. What is that error? Okay, so we'll say margin. Okay, wait. Style margin 0. Yes, now it is right. And we'll go to this h4 and we'll say style margin would be 2 pixels, right? Now we'll go to this div and we'll say style is equal to margin 10 pixels from top and bottom and 100 pixels from left and right. Then we'll say display flex, justify content center, text align center, and align items to center as well, right? And then we'll go to this another div, the div inside this, and we'll say style is equal to margin 0 pixels from top and bottom and 20 pixels from left and right. And in this div, oh, where have we, this is wrong, this is not in this, yes, okay, right? And we'll remove actually this h4, we do not need it here, we'll not make it h4, we'll just keep it simple. And in this div we will say style is equal to display flex, right? Flex direction we would set, okay, flex direction is not needed here. Justify content center, text align center, and align items center, right? So we'll copy this, and what we can do is we can just add flex direction as well. Okay, what we can do is we'll comma flex direction is row, right? And we'll copy this div and we'll place it here, and we'll change the text to other projects. Other services, and we'll save, and we'll go to globals.css, and here actually we have we are index dot, sorry, yes, we have specified the class name as nav. We'll say dot nav, and we'll say background color, which is white, right? We'll say color of text inside this should be black. We'll say display flex. We'll say justify content flex start. We'll specify z index as 999. Position would be sticky, and again we'll say specify another position, which would be WebKit sticky as well, and we'll say top to 0. We'll hit save, we'll go to Navbar, we'll hit save, and here you can see our Navbar is styled. Now we can't actually click here because this is not functioning right now. We just wanted to structure our Navbar in the way this is. Later what we'll do is we'll change this text to a button, and then we'll be able to click it. This video will make the footer of our website. You can see we'll make this footer, right? So in components folder we'll make a new file called footer.js. We'll make this boilerplate, we'll remove this, and we'll save this. And first of all we'll go to index.js, and inside there's a stack we'll call footer. We'll test first of all that our component is being displayed on screen or not, and we'll wait while it is loading, and we'll reload. Yes, it is appearing here. That means that we can now start writing code in it. So first of all we'll give CSS to this. We'll write style, padding would be 30 pixels. We'll give 30 pixels padding to it, and say display should be flex, and then we'll say justify content space evenly, and at last we'll say background color, and we'll give hash e1 e2 e3. So we can use this background color, and inside this we'll create a box. This box is again from material UI, so we can write box, and we'll say import from MUI material, and for this moment we'll remove this sidebar, so that it may look cleaner, right? So inside this box we'll close this first, and we'll say class name title. We want all the text inside this to use that font family which we specified in the styles file, right? And we'll say flex 1, and style. Oh, we forgot to write one here, and comma should be removed. Style display flex. Yes, error is showing here. Okay, I'll remove first of all this. Okay, yes, we'll cut this, we'll remove this and this, and again we'll paste. So now no error would come, and then we'll say text wrap to wrap, sorry, flex wrap, my mistake, and we have to put it in double quotes or single quotes. Flex direction is column, justify content to space between, and align items to center, right? Now inside this box we'll say h1 coders arts. Now beneath this we'll say h5. We can copy that from there to get project. Okay, you might type because you do not have this reference here, but because I have this reference, you can, so I'm able to copy this. So h3 about us, and at last a paragraph, and in this paragraph I'll copy this and paste this, right? So now we'll create another box, and in this we'll say flex 1, and style display flex, flex wrap to wrap, flex direction should be column, justify content to space around, and align items to center, right? And inside this we'll say link. Now first we have to, because we are using link from next, so we'll write import link from link, or I'm sorry, next slash link. So in this we'll write link. We can specify the href later, but for now we'll just keep it empty, and here we'll say we can copy this 4 times, one, and we can copy. You can write whatever you want here. Right, and we'll save. Again we'll make another box like this, so we'll copy and we'll paste, right, and we'll just have to change the text, so we'll just copy paste. You do not have that flexibility, so you can write whatever you want here. I have this reference here, that is why I feel hard coding these things would be tiresome for you as well to watch. So I'm just copy pasting all these things, and one more link is required, I think. Yes, only one, and we can paste it here. Now we'll create another box. So for this box we can copy this styling and paste, and for text I am using typography here. Typography, you'll see that would be imported, right? So I'll say contact us, and for this I'll put the variant as h5, and we'll copy this typography line and we'll paste this 2 times more, and everywhere here we'll say subtitle. We'll change this to subtitle 2, right, and we'll copy this line, we'll paste it here, copy this one, paste it here, we will copy this, paste it here, and at last we'll copy this and we'll paste this here, and we'll hit save, right? So we can see that our footer is also ready, right, because it is showing here. By command B we'll see that our components folder has 2 things, footer and navbar, and now from the next videos we'll start making more components. Start building our middle part of a website. So for middle part we have this and this combined, right? So we have these 2 things in the middle part. So what we'll do is we'll go to components and we'll make a new file called middle.js, and here we'll say RAFCE, which would create a boilerplate. We'll delete this and we'll save this and go to index, and we'll call this middle here to test that okay, this middle is automatically called because I previously actually called this. So we can test, uh, yes, so this middle part is here. So now we'll do one thing, we'll go to middle and we'll delete this and hit enter, and we'll use stack here, stack You know what a stack does, we have used it already, and we'll say spacing. This spacing prop gives space between the contents of this stack. So we'll have three divs here. First div would be like this. Okay, we'll copy this, and we have two more of this, right? So yes, so what we'll do is we'll store this in the first div, this in the second div, and this text in the last div. So in the first div, we'll say, first of all, we'll put the style display flex, justify content, uh, justify content, that would be space around, then we'll say margin top should be 200 pixels, right? And here we'll create another div. We'll say style display flex, flex direction is column, okay. So flex direction is column, and then we'll say justify content, we'll center all the content in this div, then we'll say text align center and align items to, okay, align items to center as well. Now in this div we'll have a span which would be of class uh, title, and in this, first of all, we'll give this a style, and we'll say display flex, font size will give as 4 rem, flex wrap, we'll say wrap, and font weight, okay, we'll remove these double quotes, font weight will give 700, right? And inside this span we'll write learn programming by building projects. You can hard code it. I have the flexibility of copying, so I'll copy. Now beneath this we'll have a div, and style would be color gray, margin top should be 20 pixels, font weight is 400 pixels. Oh no, we can't specify pixels there, right? We'll remove this comma as well, and here we'll write this line. Okay, so beneath this you can see there's a button. So we'll use MUI buttons. Oh, okay, sorry. We'll, I think it is not imported. If it is, we'll remove this. No, it is not imported. We'll delete this. We'll say button. Yes, material UI, and we'll say variant is contained s, and we'll say style width will give as 30%, and margin will give 20 pixels and 0 pixels, 0 I mean. And here we'll write explore project. We hit save and you can see this appears, right? Now we'll remove this and we'll go to this div, and here we'll say style display flex justify content space around margin top will give 200 pixels, and beneath this we'll have image, and here we'll image source src, we'll say image 2.png, which is here in public folder. Yes, actually we forgot to put up image here, so we'll copy this and we'll go to this div, beneath this we'll paste and we'll write 1, and beneath this image we'll go and make a div, and in this div we'll have a span, so for this div we'll style display flex flex direction column justify content center and align text align to center as well. Okay, uh, for this span we'll say style display flex font size is 4rem flex wrap is wrap font weight is 700. So you can make classes as well and call here, but inline CSS becomes very useful to get to know what styles are being applied just here, so that is why I prefer these. And we'll just give class name as title. Okay, we'll have to change this to equal to, and here in this span we'll copy this and paste it, Now beneath this span, we'll have a div, and inside this div, we'll have another div. Okay, so we'll say style margin top 20 pixels, font weight 400 pixels, or I'm sorry, pixels should not be there. And in this div, we'll have a h3 where we'll write build, because you can see this build. And after the and inside this h3 actually, we'll say span, and inside this span, we'll first of all style it. We'll say color is blue, right? Why it is showing error, we'll remove this span for a moment and we'll see if the error is coming because of the span. Yes, it is, I think. So we'll again place the span here, and I don't think any error is here right now. Okay, so for this span, we'll write real world, because you can see this real world is in blue, so we'll write real world. And after this, just after the span, we'll write projects. Okay, and in the last div, we'll just say style justify content, I mean justify content would not be necessary. We can say text align. Why it is not working? Wait a moment, we'll remove this div and we'll again make a div here. Inside this div, first of all, we'll have a typography. We'll say find your next project, and here we'll say variant with h3, and we'll say class name is title, and in this div we'll say style text align, and that should be center. We'll say hit save and we'll go and see. Yes, right? So you can see our middle part is also ready, and in the next video we'll make more components. In our page you can see the nav bar is done, the middle part is done, and the footer is done. So now we'll be working on this section. Okay, so for that we'll be first creating this section which is repeated, you can see. So first of all we'll be making this section, and then we'll be working on the outer container which is here, here, and here, right? So for that, first of all we'll go to our Visual Studio Code. We'll increase the font so that you can see the text clearly, and then we'll make another file here, which we'll name inner paper.js, and we'll call the boilerplate, and here we'll delete this div, and we'll call paper from material UI, right? And we'll give this paper a class name. We'll name this paper. Inside this, we can make a div which we can specify as class name would be, we'll remove this and we'll say props dot class. So here you can write props because we'll be taking props from other components, and then we'll be filling the content here. So you can specify that, and here we'll say props dot difficulty, and after this we'll say h3, we'll say class name would be title, and here we'll say props dot title. So basically what we are doing is we'll be importing, or you can say we will be using the received class title from other components so that we can call this paper and we'll pass the text into it. Okay, so after this h3 we'll say h4 and we'll name this class name subtitle, and the text inside this would be props dot description, right? And after this we'll have a button of material UI, and we can say view project, and here we'll say style is equal to color would be black, okay, we have missed this, so this would remove the error, and display would be block, position would be relative, and we'll say left would be 9 rem, and top would be 4 rem, right? So we'll save this, and what we'll do is we'll first of all go to the styles, and we'll come here and write dot subtitle, color would be gray, right? We can remove this, we do not need them, and we say save, right? And one more thing, we have used this paper class as well, so we'll specify the styles of this class as well. So we'll write paper and we'll say padding would be 20 pixel, max width would be 20 rem, height would be 26 rem, width would be 20 rem, max height would be 50 rem, border style would be solid, border radius would be 20 pixels, border color would be black. Okay, and we'll save this. So our inner paper has been created, right? And in the next video we'll be creating this outer container, and we'll integrate them, and then we'll be able to see this. We'll be creating this container which is wrapping these papers. So we'll go to our components and we'll say container.js. We'll call the boilerplate, and we'll remove this from here and we'll hit enter. So first of all, we'll style this div. We'll apply the styles here. We'll say margin would be 20 pixels from top and bottom and 50 pixels from left and right. We'll say background color would be color, and we'll be taking this color from here because we'll be receiving color as a prop, right? So we'll come here and we'll say const color is equal to $, and then we'll say props dot color. Actually we'll say bg color, and when we will give the values, we'll remember that we have named this bg color. Okay, then we'll go down and we'll say const heading color. We'll be needing this later, and we'll say we can copy this and we'll say props dot heading color. This bg color and heading color will be received via props. Okay, and here we have assigned the values which we have received to these constants. So we'll again come here to the styles and we'll say border radius would be 20 pixels, display would be flex, justify content to center, align items to center, and we'll specify the flex direction as well, which would be column. And at last we'll say align items. Okay, we have used it, so we'll not be needing that. Yes, okay, so we'll specify one more thing, align content as center as well, right? Then we'll give another div here, and for this div we'll give the styles as display flex, justify content to center, and align items to center as well. Here Actually we'll use this computer sign. I have used this computer sign in all the containers, but you can choose your icon as per your requirements. So we'll go to material icons, and here we'll search for computer, and here it comes. We'll copy this, and we'll go here and we'll paste this, right? And we can come to this side and we'll clear this up. And we'll say computer icon which we have imported, we can close this, and we'll say style margin would be 0 from top and 1 top and bottom, 0 would be from top and bottom, and 1 rem from left and right. Now we can say h1, and inside this we'll write props dot main heading which we will receive from the props, and inside this we'll say style color would be heading color which we'll receive from here, right? Now we'll create another div here which will style. First of all we'll say display would be flex, we'll say justify content to center, and we'll say align items to center as well. Now inside this div we'll be using a stack from material UI, and in this, as you can see, we have called 3 papers. So we'll say inner paper, and you can see this appears here. So we'll import this and we close this, right? And we can copy this 2 times. So here we'll specify class name would be easy, and we'll style this later. We'll copy this, we'll paste it here and here, and we'll change this to medium, and we'll change this to hard, right? And as props, first of all we'll give difficulty. Difficulty would be easy, then title would be props dot title 1 maybe, because you can see. Then we'll have this description is equal to props dot description, right? and we'll copy this, we'll paste this here and here as well. We'll change the difficulty to hard, medium in this, and hard in this case, and we'll hit save, right? So our container is ready as well. So in the next video, we'll see how we can call the container so that it may appear here like this, giving the final styles to our container, and we'll see how this container looks here. Okay, so first of all, what we'll do is we'll call this container in our index.js file. So beneath this middle part, we'll say container, and we'll provide all the props that is needed here, right? So I have already wrote those, so I'll just copy paste. So what these props are, I'll tell you. First of all, you'll have to specify the background color, right, of the container first of all with this bg color prop. For example, this bg color specifies this color, so, and this bg color specifies this color. Okay, then we'll say heading color, which would specify the color of this h tag, heading tag. So, and then we'll say main heading, which would be this. Then title 1 would be for this, description 1 would be for this, and same for these, title 2, description 2, title 2, description 2. Okay, so you can choose the text whatever you want, and we'll save and we'll see what appears on our yes, don't forget to import this container. If you'll not import this, so it will show an error. And one thing more, when you will writing container, so do not container, so do not choose the container of material UI. It is not showing here, but it might show in you. So do not choose that, because you have to choose the container, the component which you have made, not the container of material UI. So we'll go here and we'll see that although our container appears, the paper appears, but the flow is not right. So what we can do is we'll go to our container, and in this stack we'll give a prop direction, and we'll say row, and as soon as I hit save, you can see all lines up, right? And we'll give a spacing prop as well, which we can give as 4 maybe, and we'll hit save, and you can see this spacing appears, right? So now this is done, and now we'll code for this classes easy, medium, hard, because as you can see, this easy, this medium, and this large does not have any color yet, while in this it had color, and the inner text have color, right? uh, yes, and what we are forgetting is a button as well, so we'll make this button as well, right? So we'll go to this div, we'll hit enter, and we'll say a button, which would be from material UI. So wait while it is coming. Yes, it is here, and we'll hit enter, it is imported, and we'll write view more, we'll say style margin would be 40 pixels from top, 0 pixels from right, 50 pixels from bottom, and 0 pixels from left, and we'll give a padding of 20 pixels to this button. We'll hit enter and you can see this button appears. We'll do one more thing. We'll say variant. This is a prop which material UI component button accepts. Variant is equal to, we'll say contained. We'll hit save and you can see this button becomes contained. Right now we'll go to our styles global.css and here we'll say .easy. We'll say background color. You can choose whatever color you want. I'll choose RGB 217 for red, 251 for green, and 207 for blue. Then I'll say color. This is for the inner text. I'll say RGB 1, 82, and 4. Then I'll say display would be inline, and we have to put this here, right? Display is inline. Now padding would be 5 pixels, and we'll say border radius would be 10 pixels. Now we'll copy this, we'll paste it 2 times, one for medium and one for hard. We'll give background color for medium as 170, 233, choose 23, and we'll say 252. And for this we'll say 2, 6, and 111. Display would be inline, padding would be 5 pixels, and border radius would be 10 pixels. That is correct. So for hard we'll say 252, 194, and blue would be 194 as well. For inner text we'll say 180 and 2 and 2 as well. Display would be inline, 5 pixel, 10 pixel. That is correct. So we'll hit save and we'll go to our container. We'll hit save. In a paper we'll hit save and we'll reload. Okay, so there might be some error here. In the next video we'll try to resolve that error so that our text may get colored. Find out the error which was in our paper or in our container, because of which our easy, medium, and hard text is not getting the styles which we have specified, right? So first of all we'll see what props are we giving. bg color we are giving here, heading color, main heading, title 1, description 1, title 2, description 2, title 3, description 3. So we are giving these props in the container. So we'll go to the container and we'll try to find out what error might be here. So here background color is fine because we are receiving this color, that is why this is changing the color. This color is also working, which is this, which is heading color, because headings are also changing the color. But the paper seems to have this error. So we'll try to find out what that error is. We'll go to this paper dot in a paper dot js, and we'll see that the color is decided by, where's the color, difficulty, class name. Okay, so you can see that this props.class. So what is happening here is, when we are receiving any class, for example we receive easy, so what is happening, that this class name becomes easy, and then this global styles easy styling applies on that. But now what is happening is that we are giving not class but class name, and in this there is no class name being used anywhere, right? So what we can do is we'll change this class name to class. So one thing needs to be understood here, that here inner paper is not having a class name of easy, but this class is a prop which is being sent to this inner paper, and then this prop is being used as a class name, right? So we'll save this, we'll go to this container and we'll save this as well, and now you can see that our styling appears. So this was the error and how we resolved that. So now we'll be working towards our dashboard. So in this video we'll learn how we can create a dashboard and how we can make this button redirect us to this dashboard page, right? So first of all we'll go to our pages folder and we'll make another folder called dashboard, and inside this dashboard we'll say index.js. We'll create this file and we'll make this boilerplate and we'll save this for a moment. We'll just test that our page have been linked. So for that we'll come to our navbar, because it is from here we want our page to open, and here we'll write import use router from next/router, right? uh, then we'll come to this button and we'll say on. Okay, one thing more, here we'll say const router is equal to use router, and here we'll say on click and when this button is clicked, then we want to router.push to dashboard. Please make sure that the spelling is same, because this router.push will use file based or folder based routing. So if the spelling is wrong, it will not work. So we'll hit command save and we'll click our website, and you can see this dashboard appears. So that means that our button is working right now. So we'll go to our index.js file and we'll remove this, and now we'll work towards our dashboard. So first of all we'll say app bar, we'll import this from material UI. Inside this we'll have a toolbar, This toolbar is also important for Material UI, which gives a padding to this app bar. We'll import this from, yes, we have imported, so we'll use it. And now inside this we'll have a typography and a box, which would also be from Material UI. And inside this box we'll have two buttons from Material UI, and we'll copy and we'll paste it. So in app bar we'll say style equal to, first of all, position would be sticky, right? Then top would be 0 and z index would be 999. In toolbar we'll say style is equal to display flex, and justify content should be space between, so that one remains on this side and the other on that side. And then we'll move to this typography, and in this we'll say variant. This is a prop which typography accepts. Variant is equal to h5, and inside this we'll use a link. So first of all we'll import a link from next/link. Link is basically like a simple anchor tag in simple HTML. So we'll say link, and inside this we'll write Codersarts dashboard, and in this link we'll say href equal to /dashboard, right? And we'll hit save, and inside this button we'll say login. Okay, we'll keep that for later. First of all we'll style this. Styling is not much. We'll style this button just to make the text inside this as white. So this is done. We'll copy this and paste it here, and inside this we'll again use link. Now we have not yet created the files which would be redirected from here, but we'll make them later. So here we can say login, and here we'll say sign up, right? And inside this we'll say href dashboard slash login. We'll copy this and we'll say href dashboard slash sign up, right? So here we have just made two buttons which will open our login and sign up pages respectively, right? So please make sure that the spellings are correct, because if not they will not work. And here we have completed our app bar. So we can go to this dashboard and we can see that this app bar appears. But now if we click this, it will say 404 error because we have not yet created our pages of login and sign up. So we'll create those in the next video. So till now we have created our Navbar, which you can see right here, and now in this video we'll work towards creating the rest of this page. So beneath this app bar we'll make another div, and we'll style this div by saying width should be 70% and margin should be 50 pixels from top and bottom, and auto from left and right. And inside this we'll make a typography first of all, and inside this we'll write create order, which you can see is here, and inside this we'll give this a class name of title, and variant would be h4, and beneath this we'll give a horizontal rule, so you can see this appears, right? So now we'll start building our form, which is just here, right? So we'll say form, and in this we'll first of all have a h4 tag, which will say project name, we'll say class name, form heading, and beneath this we'll have text field of material UI, so you can type this and it will be imported, and this text field would have style as width would be 100%, and the placeholder in this would be, as you can see, you can have that, and it's your choice. You can write any placeholder here. Looking help in MERN project, right? And now beneath this we'll have a stack, which would be of material UI, so we'll have this, and here we'll say direction would be row, and style would be display flex, and justify content should be space between, right? So we have made our stack, and the display would be flex, and justify content space between, right? Because we will be arranging our items in a row, right? That is why we have specified direction row. So inside this we'll have a div again, and Inside this we'll have h4 first of all, which would say time zone, and we'll give this class name of form heading, and beneath this we'll have a text field again, which style equal to width 200% and placeholder would be, you can see, you can write anything here, whatever you want, 10 p.m. PST. I'm specifying whatever is written here, right? So that is why. And now beneath this, we'll just close this div and again open another div. And inside this div, we'll have h4 again, and we'll say deadline. And in this, we'll style. Actually, deadline does not require any styling, so we'll not specify that, and we can just write class name as form heading, and we'll have a text field, and this text field would have a width. First of all, we'll style width 100% and placeholder would be dd/mm/yy, which is here, and we'll say command save, right? So we can see that this appears here, right? The next would be done in another video because this video is getting very longer. Now we'll be continuing with our dashboard. So first of all, we'll go to our globals.css and we'll specify these stylings for this class form/heading. We'll hit save and we'll go to our index.js, and beneath this stack we'll create a div which would contain a select from material UI, and this would have a label which would be age, style which would be width, would be 39%, margin would be 50 pixels and 0, and color would be black, right? So inside the select we'll have menu items, which is also imported from material UI. So menu item, first menu item would be Android development, right? And we'll copy this 2 more times, we'll paste it here, we'll say app development, and here we'll say machine learning, right? And we'll close our select, which is closed there, and we'll close our div. Now we'll have a h4 which would have class name as form heading, and inside this we'll say technologies used, right? And in this we'll have a text field which would have style, width 100%, right? And placeholder would be technologies used, right? And in beneath this we'll have an h4 again, and this would contain type of order, and this would again have this class name of form heading, and beneath this we'll again have a select. So we can copy this select from here and we'll paste it right here. So we'll change few things here. First of all, we'll change the label, which would be type of project. The styling would change, and we'll say width would be 100%, margin would be 10 pixels, and color black. That is correct. We'll copy this and make it one more. Here we'll say new project. Here we'll say debugging. Here we'll say existing, and here we'll say assignment, right? So beneath this select we'll have h4 again, which would say details, and this would have the class name of form heading attached to it. Okay, so beneath this we'll have a text field again, and this text field would have this prop multi line. This would make this bigger, right? And as for rows, we can specify 10 maybe. So the bigger the number, the height would increase accordingly with that. And we'll say style width would be 100%, right? And the placeholder would be search or select a technology, right? So our text field also done. So for this we'll have a stack and in this stack we'll say direction row and style display flex justify content to space between margin would be 30 pixels and 0, and inside this stack we'll have a div first of all, and this div would have a style which would be display flex and align items to center, and this div would have a radio, right? Now this div would also actually it is showing an error, so we need to find out what error is this. Okay, there is no error, so we'll have a h3 here, and that h3 will specify do you need code walkthrough. You can copy this and this h3 would have this class name as well, so we can copy this right. So now we'll go beneath this div and we'll create another div, so you can see this is basically the same, so we can copy this, we'll paste, and what we'll do is we'll no need to do anything else, we just need to change the text. I have made it same because if you want you can change the text right here. Okay, then we'll close our div which is closed here, then we'll close the stack which is closed here, and beneath this we'll have a button. As you can see, this login button from material UI I think is already imported. We'll say login and we'll give variant to be contained, and we'll say style is equal to padding 10 pixel and font size would be 20 pixels, and we'll say save, and you can see that our dashboard is complete, right? Now we'll need to make login and sign up pages, and that would make our dashboard totally complete. We'll be creating our login and sign up pages, but first of all we'll go to this dashboard index.js, and after this div we'll add on our footer as well, because we do not have our footer right now. So we'll call the footer and we'll say save, and this would reload and this would bring up the footer here. Now we'll go to this dashboard and we'll make a new file called login.js and another file called signup.js. Uh, After this, we'll go to our file and we'll say we'll make this boilerplate, and we'll do the same in this as well. Now we'll delete this for a moment, and we'll say first of all we'll make a app bar, and inside this app bar, actually we can do one thing. We can copy this app bar from index.js as well, because basic basically we will have the same functionality there as well. So we can say copy, and here we'll paste it, right? And right after the app bar we'll say div, and in this div we'll be creating the main form of our login. So we'll first of all give the style to this. I'll increase the font size so that you can see well. Style is equal to width 50% and margin should be 50 pixels from top and bottom, and from side it should be auto. Now here we'll say paper. This would create a paper. This is a material UI component, and inside this first of all we'll have an avatar. This is also from material UI, and we'll give style to this paper. That would be display flex, flex direction would be column, justify content to center, align items to center as well, and we'll hit save. And for now we'll just keep this avatar like this only, and inside this we'll say style is equal to margin 10 pixels from top and bottom, and from side it should be 0 pixels, and beneath this we'll be creating our form. So we'll say form, simple HTML form, and here we'll be having two text fields. First of all, two text fields, copy, paste. Beneath this we'll be having a button from material UI, and beneath this we'll again have typography and one more. Right? So now in this typography, in this text field, we'll say style is equal to margin 10 pixels and 0 pixel. We'll say full width. This is a prop which text field accepts, and this would expand the text field to its maximum height in that particular container, and we'll say placeholder. That would be enter username, right? And we'll copy this style and we'll paste it here, and instead of this enter username, we'll say password, and in this button we'll say style is equal to margin. We could have copied this, so we'll copy this first of all, and we'll paste this. Variant is equal to contained. This would make our button a block button. Basically it would have background color as well, right? And inside this we'll say login. Now for these typographies we'll say style is equal to color blue, and margin should be 10 pixels and 0 pixels, and we'll copy this and we'll paste it here, and here we'll say we can do one thing more. We'll say variant, and the variant we'll choose is subtitle 1, and same for the second as well. Inside this we'll say link. This would okay, we do not need material UIs link. This is not right, so we'll be deleting that if it is installed. Yes, it is, so we'll delete this. We do not need this link. We'll say link, and we'll click on this one, so it would be imported, and inside this link we'll be writing sign up, because from here we want to redirect the user to sign up page if he wants to. And inside this we'll give href to sign up, right? And inside this we'll say forgot password, and we'll hit save. So this is our login form which is designed. Now in next video we'll be making the sign up page, and we'll be seeing how this login form looks as well. So before that we'll be importing the footer, so that we'll have a footer in our page, and we'll hit enter. So this is our login form, and in next video we'll see how we can create the sign up form, and we'll see how they look. So hello friends, so from the previous video we have created our login page. So we'll hit save, and first of all we'll see how our login form looks. So we'll click on login, and you can see our login form appears here. If you click on sign up, we will be yes, we have this problem here. We'll be sorting this out in a moment. But first we'll be creating our sign up page. Yes, here we'll say /sign up. So you can see if we hit enter now. Okay, so it says the default export is not a React component in page. Okay, we'll hit save, and you can see that this appears here. So we had not saved this file, so we'll go to the sign up and we'll clear this up. And basically the sign up page basically looks like the login page. So what we can do is we can copy this page from login and we'll paste it in our sign up. We'll first of all import everything, because that if we do not do that then we will face problems. And as we go on we'll see if we need anything else. We'll say toolbar, we'll import this first of all, then typography, yes, we'll import box. You could have copied the all the import from here, but we want to change a certain things here, that is why we are hard coding this import, right? Then we'll be interested in this button, we'll import this, and now we'll import this paper. We'll hit enter. Avatar, we'll hit enter. Text field, we'll hit enter. And in this we'll first of all change this to only username, right? uh, and beneath this we'll ask for email. And you can do one more thing in our login page. You can change this to or email, so we'll ask for username or email, and we'll copy this and we'll go to our sign up, and here we'll say username or email as well, right? We'll remove the center. uh, yes, username or email, we'll ask for email here, okay, right? And we'll paste this here, and here we'll say password, right? And beneath this we'll need one button which will be for login. No, not for login. First of all we'll have a next button maybe, and okay, this is not a button. First of all we'll delete this. We'll have to change this to next, right? And here we'll remove this typography, we do not need this. And here we'll say login, and we'll change this to login, and we'll hit save. So we see link is not defined. Definitely we have not imported the link, so we'll import the link of next/link, and we'll hit save, and you can see this appears. Okay, we do not have imported the footer as well, so we'll import this as well, footer, and we'll hit save. So you can see our sign up page is also ready. If we click on login, we do not get transferred to